The audience member selects a card. You never see this card. They then place it back inside a spread. That's something that would be really hard for a magician who's usually trying to use a control. They place it back into the spread, and you truly close the spread around the card without controlling it. Audience can even cut the deck. And yet, despite all those parameters, you're able to discern which card they chose. Welcome to the video. If you like magic content like this, I post 2 videos a week, so be sure to subscribe to learn more magic. I hope you enjoy learning this trick. Let's get into it. Welcome to the sliding key card. Now, just to define that real quickly, this is a key card trick. Now, a key card trick is where you memorize maybe like the bottom card. So like they select a card, you memorize the bottom card real quick, they place it back, and you cut it into the deck. You don't know their card yet, but you know that the 4 of hearts is your key card. They can even cut the deck again, but as long as those stay together, you'll be able to discern that the 3 of diamonds is their card. And there's a lot of tricks that use that. Today's trick is going to use that idea, but the sliding idea is the fact that you're actually going to be able to move your key card around and place it next to where the audience member themselves put their card back into the deck. So I just think that increases the power of this. This is once again from the Royal Road to Card Magic. It's a classic of magic, and that's what we've been teaching tricks from for this month. So if you like that, let me know. Let me know if you want to see more tricks from that classic of magic. And hey, subscribe if you haven't, because that's what we do on this channel as we go through magic classics. And so here is how that will look. It's very simple. You're gonna have the audience member select a card, and then when you spread the cards for them to place it back, you're actually going to slide that key card into place. So remember from the top, you just want to take a quick peek at the bottom card while they're looking at their selection. While all attention is on here, just give a quick and casual peek of the card. I like to do it this way. Now I'm a lefty, so for me to get that top corner, that's how I have to do it. If you're a righty, you might even be able to be a little more secret by getting the inner corner. But let me know in the comments below, if you're a righty, what's the most casual way that you get that bottom corner peek? Ultimately, I think it doesn't super matter as long as you're casual, and as long as you've had them really memorize this card so that you can get that peek. So you've gotten that peek, and then here, you're gonna spread the cards for them to place their card back. Once you're kind of in this position here, you're then gonna slide this card over. So you see that? So now this is literally, as the name suggests, a sliding key card. So you're gonna wanna make sure your angles are good here. So first of all, in terms of technique, I have it in the straddle grip in my subordinate hand. This is gonna help me keep cards from, falling around too much, as opposed to just a dealer's grip, right? And then with your dominant hand, as you're pulling cards over, I like to have a deep grip into the thumb. So as you can see here, and then I'm basically pinching. This allows you to hold and stabilize all these cards over here. So whether you're doing it from this hand as a righty or from this hand as a lefty, that's kind of the technique of a simple card spread. From there, once you have a good spread of cards out, you can push over mainly with these 2 fingers. The index is here as well, but you're gonna push over and kind of get it into place where now wherever they kind of put the card in, this moving key card is gonna be able to go above or below it. Wanted to take a moment to give a huge shout out to my channel members. You guys are the best. So one of the ways you can support this channel is by becoming a channel member. At the supporter tier, you get exclusive badges, as well as access to my behind the scenes library that I've begun building out. So things like how I film my magic videos, some looks into my card collection, discussions on theory, stuff like that. At the insider tier, I've been building a bonus trick library. So every month on the free videos for this channel, I teach from classic magic works like the Royal Road to Card Magic, Expert at the Card Table, the Tarbell Course in Magic, things like that. And so that's still there, but on the insider tier, I just teach a bonus trick every month. So from whatever that same book we're kind of discussing in a given month, I'll pull an extra trick to go into the bonus trick library. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, but you're also interested in some of those perks, you can check that out there. You can click the join button below. I also have some merch, which can be a great way for you to show people that you're a magician, might even be a good inroad to you doing some tricks for them, as well as a ton of items that are basically just gaffs. They have card reveals on them. And if you're a magician, you know that you can use those for some pretty powerful tricks. So those are all just some ways you can support me. But for now, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. So that's the idea. Now, you can have a little bit of performer's blindness here if you're not careful. There's certain moves that actually look quote unquote better for you as the performer, and meanwhile you don't know that your audience can see everything you're doing. This is one of them. If it is too flat on, they might see this kind of hanging card or this discrepant card. Of course, from above, they'll definitely see it if you let it poke out the front, but you also want to angle it more downward toward them so that they don't see underneath the cards. So you do want to be aware of that. But now wherever they place this card back in, let's say they placed it right here, you can now let that key card end up above, just like that. And it's just by squaring up the cards, it'll end up above it. Or you can also have it end up below it. So to have it end up below it, I have a new key card here of the 7 of hearts. Let's say they place the card back in here. Instead of going straight on, you can see it right here. We're gonna just let it peek below the card. And that's just by letting it come in just like that. It might actually feel easier than to place it above because you're just kind of with the right pressure, placing everything together. And then you let those cards come together. Now here's what's really cool. They've selected a card that you haven't looked at. You've placed it back in the deck. You can let them cut the deck. I wouldn't encourage shuffling. Some magicians are more bold and they kind of have ways that they can avoid the key card getting separated. But for simplicity's sake, I think just a simple extra cut is great. And the way you can frame that is saying, all right, I want you to place it back anywhere you want. And when they place it back and you've loaded the key card there, you know, really focus attention of that of like, look, it's really going to go back in the exact spot you said. In fact, you want to give it an extra cut. And that just makes the feeling of freedom and control so much more. I forgot to mention, and I had to come back and add this little clip here, loading the card above, like the 6 of spades here, means that when they're face up, their card is going to be above the 6 of spades, right? Now, if you load it below, that means once you see the 6 of spades, you know the next card is theirs. It's just up to your preference. And then based on certain tricks, you know, you can take advantage of that either way. But I just wanted to add that really quickly. So now let's say you've memorized the 7 of clubs and they've placed their card in and you've used that method. Now, when you look at the cards and you've spread them, you're going to see that their card is the 5 of spades. You can go into any trick from here. I've been referencing the Biddle trick this month as a great trick for either forces or peaks to go into. It's a classic of magic. Professionals use it. We have a tutorial for that on the channel if you want to check it out. But you could also just kind of do a more gradual elimination sequence, and you can really ham this up. You know, for all intents and purposes, you should not know the card. And so you can kind of eliminate some from the top as you're kind of looking at them, trying to get a feel for them, eliminate some from the bottom, and just work your way down maybe to like a final 2, right? Like you've ended up here and you can act like you're about to choose this one. I'm kind of thinking of a Daniel Madison trick he did on Penn and Teller, and then you go with the one that they picked. Just by adding more drama to it, that's now a full trick. You know, you had this really fair procedure where you didn't seem to have any way you could have known that card. They even get to add a cut to it. And then with your mind reading powers, you get to the card. But of course, that's not the way you have to reveal the card. As I said, this is a building block. It's a sleight of hand technique. But if this is your first magic video you've ever seen, that is enough for you to read some minds and it look really cool. We're also going to use this technique in another video this month for the Royal Road. So now that you've already learned this, you're already ready and set up to learn that trick. So be sure to check back for this. But in the meantime, be practicing, watch those angles, use a mirror, and I think you'll have a really cool technique on your hands to use now. If you enjoyed that video, help me out by liking and subscribing. Check out the other video that YouTube is going to recommend to you on the end screen here. But until next time, keep enjoying your magic, stay a hobbyist at heart, and I'll see you guys in the next video.